Good afternoon, Oklahoma. This is Braxton Banks with Oklahoma Weather, and I'm coming on here just to give a quick severe weather update on the potential of severe weather both today and tomorrow. As you can see here, this is the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for this evening and tonight. As you can see, we have an enhanced risk, as you can see, a level 3 out of 5 for portions of western Oklahoma and into southwestern Oklahoma and a little bit of northwestern Oklahoma. So places like Woodward, Sealing, Arnett, Elk City, Weatherford, Hobart, Altus, Hollis, those areas, you're in that enhanced risk for this evening and into tonight. We have that slight risk that extends a little further to the north and east out into some parts of central Oklahoma, up into parts of northern Oklahoma, and even back out west here toward the Panhandle. That is a level 2 out of 5 on that severe risk. And then we have that marginal risk, which extends even a little bit further east, extending all the way from Oklahoma City just about to the Bristow area, kind of just areas a little bit east of I-35 and I-44. That is a level 1 out of 5. And you can see as well, it also kind of includes a little portion of the Panhandle here. So with those severe risks in place, what specific hazards are we watching for this evening and tonight? First of all, that tornado risk. That is the thing that we're going to be watching very closely. As you can see, this actually occurred within the last update from the Storm Prediction Center. We now have this 10% risk area of tornadoes across southwest Oklahoma. So Hobart, Altus, and Hollis, kind of that general zone is where the Storm Prediction Center is really watching the potential for really just an isolated supercell or two in this specific area, which may have the best chance to produce a tornado in this zone of southwest Oklahoma. A much broader 5% tornado risk is in place across much of western and into northwestern Oklahoma, and even a little bit of north central Oklahoma too. And then outside of that, you have that 2% tornado risk that extends all the way to the northeast towards places like Bartlesville, down toward Cleveland, Chandler, the Oklahoma City Metro, further south toward Lawton, and then of course back out to the northwest here, also across northwest Oklahoma and into parts of the Panhandle as well. Another thing I want to mention, and this was a new thing that came out from the Storm Prediction Center about a day or two ago, this hatching area. Now normally when we talk about the hatched risk, that usually will just mean, in this case, a risk of significant tornadoes. But we're now getting more specific on how significant threats could be. So in this particular case here, we have a level 1 out of 3 intensity level here across the 5 and 10% zones. As you can see down here, that equates to the possibility that the strongest, if a tornado were to occur, the strongest tornado that could occur could be of EF2 strength or higher. That is something we're going to be watching very closely. So there is the non-zero conditional potential for a strong tornado in this hatched zone, mainly across western into southwestern Oklahoma, associated with that potential for supercell thunderstorms this evening and tonight. Another big threat is the large hail threat. Same general idea. We have a 30% hail risk here, mainly across western Oklahoma, up into northern and western Oklahoma here. This is your 15% zone in the yellow. This is your 30% zone in the red. And then here is your 5% zone. Again, same places, about that 2% tornado risk further out east, and again out toward the Panhandle as well. And you also have that hatching here as well. So in this case, there's the possibility of hail over 2 inches in diameter within this zone, especially with any supercell thunderstorms that can really keep themselves going and be particularly significant. So that is another big threat we're going to be watching with any storms that develop this evening and into tonight. There is also a damaging wind threat. It's also something we're going to be watching closely. Pretty broad 15% zone for damaging winds across really the western third of the state. Basically, again, northwest into western and southwestern Oklahoma. We also have that hatching for this as well. So there is the potential, the conditional potential, as you can see there, for wind gusts of 75 miles per hour, if not a little higher as well, with any supercells, or as we go later into the night, the potential for more linear segments of storms, which would increase the risk for potentially significant damaging winds. But our severe threat does not end today. We're also watching the potential of severe weather tomorrow as well. This is the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow afternoon and evening, and that enhanced risk that we mentioned for today moves out into eastern Oklahoma, so places like Tulsa, and really just anywhere from about Highway 75 into the east. That's kind of like your zone for that enhanced risk level 3 out of 5. We have that a level 2 slight risk here, mainly across central Oklahoma, and then that level 1 marginal risk out across western Oklahoma. And again, this is for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Similar case to what's expected today. Your tornado risk, again, 10% tornado risk, mainly across eastern Oklahoma, especially across southeastern and into eastern Oklahoma, with that 5% tornado risk really encompassing the basically areas east of I-35. That's about the best I could describe that. And then further to the west, we have that 2% tornado risk here, mainly from 287 into the east as well. That is kind of what we're looking at with the tornado threat. Again, we do have that hatching risk, that hatched risk for tornadoes as well. It's a level 1 hatch risk, or you could call it a SIG 1. That's basically what the SPC kind of terminology is for it. But as you can see, again, the possibility of if there are any tornadoes, there is a conditional chance that those tornadoes could be of EF2 strength or higher. So significant tornadoes not out of the question for tomorrow as well. Looking at your large hail risk, once again, we're looking at a 30% hail risk here. Again, mainly the eastern third of the state, with that 15% zone, again, mainly central Oklahoma, and your 5% zone for hail across western Oklahoma. You'll notice this hatching risk includes pretty much almost the entire body of the state. So that should, bring a heads up that really any storm that can develop across the state tomorrow afternoon and evening will carry that conditional potential for significant hail of 2 inches in diameter or greater. Damaging wind risk is also present tomorrow. Something to note here, that hatching risk mainly off to the northeast. It includes a little sliver of the northeast corner of the state up toward Miami. We're not really looking at much of a significant damaging wind risk tomorrow. Regardless, we have a large 15% area for, again, basically the eastern third of the state, with that 5% zone further to the west, encompassing mainly central and into western Oklahoma as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at radar, basically simulated radar, to give you an idea of what we can expect for tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly switch over here so we can take a quick look at what to expect on that front. So give me just a quick moment while I switch this over for you. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start off. So this is for this evening and into tonight. So what we're going to do is play it forward here. And by about 6 o'clock this evening, we're going to start to see severe thunderstorms beginning to pop up across mainly the southwestern corner of the state. Again, that's where the Storm Prediction Center highlighted the highest possibility for tornadoes. So if there are any tornadoes this evening into tonight, this is going to be the area to watch, especially with those severe thunderstorms developing across southwest and into western Oklahoma as well. Advancing time forward, we can see how those storms mainly continue to blossom through the late evening and into tonight. Those storms will continue to expand off to the east. That we'll more than likely start to see a weakening trend with these storms as they continue to move off to the east. In this particular case, this model tries to keep things going a little bit more active into around the midnight hour. I think this model might be overdoing it just a little bit, but I still think this gives you a good general idea on the placement of storms into tonight. So basically looking at storm potential, basically from I-35 down to I-44 here, stretching across the majority of the state. Those storms, as you can see, will continue to push off to the east and weaken as we get into the early morning hours tomorrow. Those storms, as you can see, will slowly push out. Maybe a few isolated storms trying to make their way through into the early morning hours of tomorrow. But we should be seeing those storms mainly pushing out of the state by around, at the very latest, midday tomorrow. But as we get into tomorrow afternoon and evening, it's going to be very interesting to watch because tomorrow, based on everything I'm seeing, is more of what you can call a conditional severe weather day. Basically, we're looking at the possibility of severe weather, and the ingredients are looking pretty primed for severe weather. The only question is, do we get thunderstorms to develop to take advantage of that environment? This particular model says that we do, and we could start to see some storms developing sometime around the late afternoon into the evening hours tomorrow. And this model here basically indicates the potential of a few thunderstorms, potentially supercells, across the eastern third of the state from Tulsa down toward Ada and down toward Ardmore. Now, of course, this is just one model, but again, I think this gives you the best idea on when storms could develop and where they could develop as well. We'll continue to see those storms develop into the late evening and into the overnight as well, as you can see here. And we should see those storms push out of the state generally as we get toward the 10 o'clock hour and later on as well. So we're going to keep you updated through the evening and into tonight if we do get any tornado warnings. And of course, we'll be doing the same tomorrow as well. So make sure to stay tuned on our Oklahoma Weather YouTube page, where we are live streaming 24/7 the latest radar, alerts, and live views across Tulsa and Oklahoma City. And of course, like I mentioned, if we have any severe weather, particularly tornado warnings, I'll be here to give you the latest information as that information comes in to our weather center here. And of course, we'll be doing the same thing tomorrow as well. Any tornado warnings, we'll be right here to give you the very latest information. So I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, Oklahoma, stay weather aware.